Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Just Seen motherfucking podcast. And today, as you've seen from the title, we're going to be talking about commitment. Broskies, we're going to be talking about commitment. And I wanted to have this episode because considering the previous episode, not the young niggas, not the YNs, but the episode on passion, I kind of feel like these two things go hand in hand, passion and commitment, because there's I ain't gonna say it's a common thing, but there's a circumstance in which our commitment is tied to our passion. And if we don't have any passion, we can't be committed to anything. And that's a conversation that I think we really need to discuss. I mean, we ain't got to, but I'm going to. Just because it's been something that's been on my mind, like commitment. And it's not just commitment for like relationships and women and shit like that, but like really tying into commitment. Just how if there's no passion behind anything, you lose sight of how to remain committed to something. I was just, recently I've been contemplating, especially getting back into the podcast. I took that year off, it was about a year, 9 months, something like that. But I took that time off, and it's like, I ain't even gonna hold y'all. All I could think about was recording podcast episodes. But I had other things that I really needed to focus on. I had other things that I needed to lock down because I kind of got consumed in having to do everything that I remained committed, and I still had passion, but I still divided myself up. And so it opened me up to, what are the good and bad qualities and traits of commitment? You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, people say, when you committed to something, you good. Yeah, you could be committed to something for both benefit and detriment. And I was considering like how just I do a lot of self-check, self-introspection, self-reflections to see what have I been doing? You know what I'm saying? I periodically ask myself, what am I doing? What have I been doing? And so I did a quick eval over the last 8 years because, you would have had to be here for the old page to know where I'm going with this mostly. But it's like from the time I really locked in, let me say when everything was done, when I had Frail 3 finished, Hitting It Raw, done, the course, the ebook, the Inflate with Inflation community, all of that done, I realized that I had everything done, but I still had to do the branding and I had to do the advertising. I had to learn those skills. I had to take the time to actually dive in, study people, study the systems, do my experimentations, get my shit straight and everything. And that aspect was the hardest aspect of it all, but I was committed to learning it. But in being committed to learning it, it was like I still had to maintain my commitments to everything else. Nothing else stuff. I couldn't just put one commitment down and it ultimately became a vice, which is ultimately how that year came out, because I was still trying to do 2 episodes, podcast episodes, still trying to post my social media content, still doing all these things instead of just logging in and just saying, all right, let me go learn, go to school. I ain't really go to school, but y'all know what I mean. But like actually sit in the learning phase and learn everything and break it down. So that way, when I pop out, I could show niggas and be really where I was at. And so as I was reevaluating that, it's like I realized that I had too much passion with everything, which gave me commitment with everything. And in trying to be committed to everything, I ultimately became committed to nothing at all. That's how the burnouts happen and things like that. But when I look at us as men, especially black men, a lot of our passions are gone, but we're expected to remain committed to shit. Whether this be women, whether this be our jobs, whether this be, kids, family, everything. And we have to first find out what commitment really is and what it ultimately sets up for us in the long run. Because without us having that specific commitment to do the necessary things that we need to do, we can get off. You feel what I'm saying? We can horribly get off. And I don't know if it's something that I don't know if it's something that will ultimately fuck with us in the grand scheme of things, but I do know that it is both. It can be both a virtue and a vice, having commitment. And so I want to I just want to sit and piggyback off of where we was at with passion and go into our commitments, because that's one of the biggest things that we have, like, for us as men. My bad, I got distracted because I was trying to I forgot I left the metronome on my recording, and it kind of distracted me a little bit. But luckily it distracted me at a good part. So we're going to be talking about commitment, of course. But before we dive heavy into that, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Seen the Light. Be sure to check out my website at IamJustSeen.com to get all things that are just seen. To all those who tip, donate, and sponsor to the podcast, you are greatly appreciated. To all those who would like to tip, donate, and sponsor to the podcast, you can do so by clicking the link in the description of the podcast. Not the episode, but the podcast itself. And as always, you know the vibe. Cash App and PayPal are just fine. And that's the vibes, that's that for this and that's this for that. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to dive into So Frail Conversations, commitment. And don't forget to visit IamJustSeen.com. There, you can get all things Just Seen. You want to add the So Frail series to your library? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to learn how to master the markets for serious trading and investing? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to get your hands on some exclusive merch like tees, hoodies, coffee mugs, hats, bags? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Are you thinking about transitioning into the plant-based lifestyle? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You ever want to just chat with Seen about anything from simple advice to mentorship? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Anything and everything that is me, you can find at IamJustSeen.com. So take a quick peek into my world to see why being just seen is nothing less but always more. Because you never really know what you need until you see it, and you will never see it unless you visit IamJustSeen.com. All right. Welcome back. And without further ado, we're going to dive heavy into this motherfucker. So y'all know how I get down. We're going to start off with the definition of commitment. We're going to break down the etymology of the word, and we're going to tie it into where we're going forward. Commitment. All right. So first, commitment, we already know is a compound word. The ment means the mind, but commit, right? Commit comes from the Latin committere or committere, or whatever the case may be, but or committin, and it means to give charge. It means to give charge or entrust, but even deeper than that, it means to unite, connect, combine, or bring together, right? So when we add the mind to that, it is to entrust the mind or to unite, connect, or bring the mind together. And that is very important, because when people say, I need you to commit to this, committed to memory, women say commit to me and commit to marriage and all the shit we got to commit to. We are, in a sense, uniting our mind with something. That's powerful as fuck. You have to unite. In order to be committed to something, you have to fucking unite your mind with the bitch. That's what entrustment is. But you are uniting. A commitment is when your mind is united with the shit. Right? How powerful is that? Because people, we talk about being dedicated, we talk about but committed means that my mind is united to this. You feel me? Nothing else can take me off of this pivot, because my mind is now united to it. And when you add passion to that shit, it's almost like it develops a level of relentlessness. It develops a level of just a relentless nature that can't be stopped. But how do we develop this commitment? How do we get to a point where we can unite our mind with something? You feel me? And that's where, of course, masculinity, spiritual, mental, and physical embodiment of the essence of analysis and deconstruction comes in, because you have to thoroughly understand something that you're going to unite your mind to. So we'll get the cliche bullshit out of the way, and focus on and talk about the relationships and women and shit. And it's like, in order to commit to a woman, you have to unite your mind to her, right? That's difficult as fuck. That's difficult as fuck. And a lot of times people will be looking at us like, as men, Why can't a man commit? Stop asking that question and break down the actual word. If you understood the word and the definition of the word commitment, then you would be able to understand why men can't commit, why men don't commit, why we often don't commit so easily. But then once we committed, when we end that motherfucker. Like, we commit because our mind is united to it. You feel me? Between the propaganda, between the imagery, the media and everything, we're not designed to commit to women. You feel me? We're not designed to commit to women, and we're also not designed to commit to anything that is of benefit to ourselves. You feel what I'm saying? And that commitment, or that lack of commitment, is rooted in, I don't know what it's rooted in. Hopefully it'll come to me as we progress deeper. But being able to commit, like I said, it first develops the passion. Now, as I was explaining in the previous episode on Frail Conversations about passion, when I was talking about how passion is what sits between heart chakra and solar plexus chakra energy, right? Passion is the culmination of the energies that you're going to tie to something. So now, when we understand the mind, and I'm only going to talk about the mind just from the duality perspective of emotion and thought, the emotional side of the mind is how we are ultimately wired to committing to something, because we have to unite our mind with the shit. Only way you can unite your mind with something is if you are emotionally drawn to it. I'm going to say that again. The only way you can unite your mind to something is if you are emotionally drawn to it and emotionally tied and connected to it, right? We ain't taught to fuck with our emotions, bro. We taught to suppress them. We taught to erase them. And the only emotions that we truly feel, that we're permissible in expressing are anger, rage, and aggression. But deeper than that, it's like, if you cannot emotionally connect to something, you can't commit to it. You feel me? If you cannot emotionally connect to something, you have no passion for it. You feel what I mean? Now, when we tie it back to us as kids, when we was kids and shit, like, we couldn't cry. To cry over something is to have an emotional connection to it, which means there's some form of fucking commitment to that shit. And whatever it does to devastate you is what makes you cry. We have the phrases, and the ideations, the thrill of defeat and the agony, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Thrill and agony are just opposite sides of the coin, but they are tied to passion. You feel me? Thrill is an exhilarated form of euphoria. Agony is an exhilarated form of trauma. You feel what I'm saying? And like I said, passion is the culmination of all of our feelings and emotions tied together. When you're passionate about something, you are willing and open to feel every single emotion tied to it. And I know I always talk about there being only two emotions, joy and pain, but every feeling is a segue, or is an extension. Is an extension of one of those things. Whether we have our positive feelings of, contentment, elation, happiness, those are more tied to joy in the passionate side. And then when we have anger, rage, and aggression, disappointment, those are more so for the negative side of passion. But passion is always there. When you passionate about something, that shit turns you the fuck up. You feel what I'm saying? Pride and shame, all of these different things. These are forms of how passionate you can only experience these array of feelings when you truly have passion with something. So if you're not feeling, you have no passion. If you have no passion, guess what? You can't commit. You cannot commit to it, because your mind now has to be united with this. Because now when we consider everything tied to the mind, now let's look at this. Commitment. Well, like I said, to commit means to entrust. It means to unite, to tie, to bind together, right? And then ment means the mind. So the mind is already divided into 4 levels: belief, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Then you have the 3 modalities: conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. And then you have its duality of emotion and thought. Commitment has to encompass all of these things at one fucking time in order for you to be able to commit to something. That means you have to believe in it. You have to know it. You have to understand it, experience it. You have to understand it. It has to be wired into your conscious, subconscious, and unconscious minds. And it has to be tied to both your emotions and your thoughts. Tying it back to women. These hoes ain't connected like that. I'm bullshit. But this is one of the reasons why we can't commit and why we don't commit, because we don't have the passion that leads us into infusing our thoughts correctly with it. You feel me? Because like I said, when it comes to passion, that is the encompassing of all of our feelings. And now that sits between both our solar plexus and our heart chakras, right? That's where the passion's at. So once you get passion, you can either love or hate something. You feel me? I can either hate this shit with a passion or I can love it shit with a passion. But I'm going to love it or hate it with every emotion in me, every feeling in me. Now, when I send it up and I take it to my mind and I commit to it, now I have tied to the fact that I'm either going to love or hate this shit with everything in me. You feel what I'm saying? And that's passion. And love is the power for betterment through correction, and hate is the power for detriment through incorrection. You know what I'm saying? And when you are not in that space where you're willing to tie passion to the shit, your commitment to it is not going to be there. And so when I was doing my little recap, as I was talking about it, going over everything, I had too much passion tied to everything that I do, and I was committed to every single piece. But it became overwhelming because I was so divided that I was willing, my passion would not let me see. My passion in the shit would not let me see why I was burning myself out, why I was constantly overwhelmed with a lot of the shit that I was doing. You feel what I'm saying? 2 podcast episodes a week, about an hour and a half to 2 hours. You feel me? Still trading, still investing, still trying to brand, still trying to market, still trying to make sure, all of my shit is, moving how it's supposed to do, still trying to record my music, still trying to learn to mix and master my music, still trying to do all of the different things to go to the next level, and then still maintain everything that I had within the level that I was on, maintaining relationships and friendships and familial connections. There's a lot of things that tie into us that tied into just me being committed. Just me being committed to the shit. And even then, I didn't understand the depths of the commitment. I can explain it now where I'm looking at it like, yo, bro, I was like, you can't shake me off my pivot. Nobody could shake me off my pivot because I was committed to this shit. And then I look at how easily people give up. There was a lot of people who was like, and I've been at this since 2016, when my first book came out. So Frail 1, and it was September of 2016, but the physical copy came out November 2016. But from 2016 till now, well, until last year when I took that year off, that was 7-8 years. 7-8 years of consistency. I said consistency because that shit, I never stopped. Because even through my burnouts, I had to be forced to sit down. Like, I know some of y'all have seen some of the posts that I made when the old page was up. I think I've even made a few on this new page where it's like, the burnout. Like, if you don't take a break to sit down, universe, source, God, Allah, Jehovah, Christian, Buddha, whatever, it'll sit your ass the fuck down. You can be so passionate about something you don't know that it's wearing you the fuck out. It is busting your ass to keep going because you're committed as well. Because every emotion within you has wired this into your fucking mind. So like I said, it's tied between both my thoughts and my feelings now. So everything that I'm thinking, I'm also feeling the same way. When I get a new idea, it's like, okay, let me try this. And I have the same vigor, if you will, to continue and push through and never stop. Only time I've ever had this type of passion and commitment, I was in a relationship. You feel me? And I've only had, before that, it was only with music. I only had this type of passion with music. And when people like ask me like, why do I, like, I'm passionate about music. I'm passionate about the art of writing. I'm passionate about lyricism. I'm passionate about this shit. And I tie everything in me, in it. Now, there came a time when I lost my passion. At first, I thought it was, because my heartbreak ended up, when I committed to somebody else who didn't allow my passion to run like it was supposed to, because my passion, see, the thing about your passion and think about passion as a whole is that once it's in motion, it's like it infuses to everything. And the thing I hate about passion, even that I hate about commitment too, is that it's all or nothing. Either I'm going to be all in or I'm going to be all out. And people don't understand like what that really means. You know what I'm saying? People think you can fragment your commitment to something or you can fragment your passion to life. You can't. You can't. It's impossible. You just can't do it. Once you're in, you're in. And once you're out, you're out. If you can divide your attention between this shit, if you can divide yourself between it, you ain't passionate about it. Therefore, you are not committed to it at all. Tying it back to relationships with women. This is why we be having hoes. And I think low key it's a subconscious thing because we know that this is not what we don't commit because, and then we have multiple women and we're not committing to these multiple women or any of the women simply because like I can't divide commitment. Now the women, I want you to commit to me. I know what you want. I know what the fuck you want, but that ain't what you gonna get, baby. You can't make me commit to you until you have burned a passion, until you have ignited a passion within me. You feel what I'm saying? Women don't get that shit. Women be like, how is a man? They be like, we was engaged for 10 years. Like, y'all motherfuckers that be in relationships for 10, 15, 20 years, you gotta accept. She's not bringing any passion out of you. And because she's not bringing any motherfucking passion out of you, you're not willing to commit to her. And that's what the situation is. Ain't no passion in it. They're like, yo, how can you have passion for a sports team? Cause my favorite team got rings. They got championships. They go to the chip and they play their hearts out. They got highlights that will sit with me forever. You feel me? My favorite basketball team is the LA Lakers. Now, I'm from California. You feel what I'm saying? I know people. I was born in North Carolina. They always say, you know, where you were born or where you graduated from high school is where you from, or whatever the case may be. Blah, 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 blah. Fuck all that, nigga. I was 4 months old when we moved to California, and we left when I was 9. My roots, my foundational piece, my development as a human started when I was in California. So my first full cycle of life for 9 years was in California, and ain't nothing that could be shaken from that. So the LA Lakers was my team. You feel what I'm saying? They were my team. When we ran that fucking three-peat, bruh, there was passion there. All of my emotions was tied into that shit. You feel me? When I want to say we was playing the Blazers, when Kobe threw the lob to Shaq, and it took that's an iconic move. That's an iconic moment in the Lakers franchise. That's an iconic moment in basketball. You feel me? You didn't even have to see that game, and you knew what alley-oop I was talking about. That Kobe threw to Shaq. You feel me? Because then what happened right after that? Shaq pointed up to the rafters. You feel what I'm saying? But watching that game, like it goes into, you know, how the passion is. I don't really have a football team. I ain't gonna say football's trash, but like football sucks to me. Football has no excitement because it's not constant back and forth, I feel. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I just don't. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with the Raiders because my brother was a Raiders fan and we from California. So it's like, Raiders. But other than that, I don't have a passion for football. I had a passion for basketball. I couldn't play it. You feel me? I mean, I could shoot and I can, you know, we can run from 21, I'll tap your ass out. But other than that, I didn't have much of a passion except for the team. And I'm saying that because women and people as a whole will be like, yo, men can have, you know, a passion about a football team, a passion about a video game or something like that. And they can commit to that shit because it's passion there. It's passion. When we watch these pranks where these women are deleting these dudes, like that man, that was passion that he committed to. When you truly committed to some shit, you'll put the money into it, you put the time into it, and it'll never bother you. It'll never bother you. You can lose 1,000,000 times and still smile because it's not bothering you because you're committed to this shit. You know what's on the other side of your commitment. You feel what I'm saying? When it comes to women, we don't necessarily get that commitment because they don't ignite a passion within us. Every cliche you see, everything you see is about how well and how good you can treat a woman, how much you can meet an expectation for a woman, how much you can put. Why am I going to commit to a motherfucker who can't ignite my passion? You feel me? This is why relationships suck and don't work. It's on us. Like, yeah, like they really, the failures of relationships are on us, but the failures on relationships are on us because we don't know that we're entering a relationship with no passion. Only for some pussy. And it's not only for the pussy, but when we truly find that woman who ignites the passion within us, we'll commit to her forever. We'll commit to her forever because now every emotion you get out of me now, which also means that you get both sides of that shit. They get both sides of that shit. They gonna get the love and they gonna get the hate. You feel me? Because it depends on how you now after you ignite my passion, which way do you steer it? Do you always nag? Do you always annoy the fuck out of me? Do you always bring out the negative side of my passion? You feel what I'm saying? But I'm still committed to you. Now, some of us are committed to the idea rather than the actual person. You feel me? And sometimes that can keep us fucked up in a situation. When I speak on the relationship that I was in which I ended up heartbroken, but in that relationship, I never cheated. I never left for long. I was committed to the relationship. I wasn't committed to the person. I was committed to my passion for relationships. I like being with, contrary to the whole phase that I had when I'm in a relationship, I really like that one person. But I never realized that I was committed to a relationship. And sometimes, and most of us, this is what we're conditioned or we're programmed and wired to be in. We're wired to be committed to the relationship, not the person. If the relationship ain't bringing no passion, fuck it. You feel what I'm saying? They make us be committed to a relationship, not the person. This is why women don't be wanting, they don't be wanting marriages. They want weddings, my nigga. And they want us to commit to them to give them a wedding, not a marriage. We know that shit. This is why when the women always talking about, oh, she ain't no gold digger, you just broke, blah, 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 blah. These women just want weddings. They don't want marriages. You feel me? They don't want marriages. They want weddings, bro. They don't want to be wives. They want weddings. That's it. That's it. You know why? Because society has made us commit to relationship, not to the people that we fucking with. We really don't give a fuck about. When I heard it for the first time, you know what I'm saying? This woman told me, she was like, yeah, I want kids and everything like that. But she said, I want to be a mother. I want children. She said, it doesn't matter who the father is. My dumb ass listening to the shit, not even, and I don't like to call myself dumb, but in this situation, I heard it. And this was some dumb shit because I heard it and just kind of let it go in one ear and out the other. Like, nigga, she don't give a fuck about who the father of her child is. She just wants children. So when she cheats and gets pregnant, I'm like, nigga, she was committed to being a mother. That's it. She was committed to having a child. Like that was a passion of hers. You feel what I'm saying? But in that same time, I had a passion about music. I had a passion about entrepreneurship. I had a passion about ownership. I had the same passion since I was a motherfucking kid, bro. I said, ain't no way in hell. Like, I don't want to work for people. I don't want people. Like, I had this passion. And when that passion burns, it burns. You feel what I'm saying? But she never ignited my passion. But the passion that I had was for the relationship, not her. Damn, I gotta sit and reflect because it's like, that's one of the reasons why it hurt so bad and it bothered me so bad, because it was like, damn, I was just passionate about the relationship. And my own ego got involved. I'm a good man. I know how to be a good man in a relationship. That's what I was committed to. Proving that I was a good man in a relationship. When I tell you, once the shit hit the fan and all my peoples and shit was talking to me, they was like, nigga, honestly, we thought you would be the one that cheated. Honestly, we thought you was gonna be the one to fuck up. Nigga, why? Where would y'all get that from? Bruh, really? Really? If ain't nobody ever had hoes like you had hoes, nigga, you had hoes. Boy, when I say I was like, yo, when I gave up the game, bro, I retired 2 jerseys. I don't just say that shit for the shits and giggles of the podcast. Like, nigga, I really did retire 2 jerseys. And I retired on the top, at the top, bro. Championship level. This low key why I want to get back in the game. Because it's like, I want to see, can the healed, spiritually sound version of myself do that shit too? But then it's like, because I didn't have any, like, my perspective of life wasn't right at that time when I was retiring jerseys. Now it's like, I guess the only jersey that I want to have, that I want to retire and hang up, and it can't be hung up until I'm dead, is, father and husband. You feel what I'm saying? But those are commitments. And now I realized that I had to learn, nigga, you not gonna last. It ain't gonna last if you don't have passion. If the relationship does not have passion into it, you can't even have children with this person. You feel what I'm saying? Because all that shit is contingent upon how much passion you have, which is going to determine what commitment you have to it. Motherfuckers who can walk out of their kids' lives, they had no commitment. They had no passion. You feel me? So they didn't create their children out of passion. Therefore, they had no desire, no reason to commit to them. You feel me? When I look at my pops, when I talk to, when I used to talk to my pops and shit, like, just listening to him talk and shit is like, you ain't never had no passion, bro. You still ain't got no passion. Pride, maybe, but no passion. That's why it's like in the aftermath, after we grown and shit, like, you want the relationship now, like, it's hard for me to give that to you. Because I can't have that commitment. You know what I'm saying? I don't have that. You feel me? Because you didn't have that. You feel what I'm saying? You didn't have that passion, therefore you didn't have no commitment. You didn't even have the passion to just be with my mama. You know what I'm saying? And there's levels to that, because without the passion, there's no commitment. And it's like, you can't get the commitment and the passion all after the fact. And this is one of the reasons why we fuck up and we, want to spin the block and shit. Because low key, if we have not acknowledged what we're passionate about and we don't want to be passionate about that shit, if something does ignite that passion out of us and shit, we'll run away from it. And that's where sabotage comes in. You feel what I'm saying? And so when I look at just how relationships are playing out now, and when I look at us as men and where we stand right now, it's like a lot of us don't have no passion. I can look on our faces and I can look into our eyes and be like, yo, nigga, you just ain't got no passion. You ain't got no fucking passion. But the shit that you become passionate about, can't nobody shake you off that shit. They can't take you off your pivot. You'll endure. And it's not even enduring shit. It's just going through the fire for it. You know what I'm saying? When you committed to the shit. Because when you committed to some shit, it ain't no fire to go through. Shit don't burn. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where, let's say, pressure either busts pipes and makes diamonds. This is a very, very powerful sentiment, but this is the case. Pressure, it either, like, when you committed to something, you're going to become a diamond. You're not going to put yourself in a position, your passion won't let you become a pipe. You feel me? Your passion won't let you become a pipe. And so as I'm looking at this full spectrum of, like I said, from a relationship standpoint, we don't commit to women because women don't bring passion out of us. Imagine a motherfucker just always nagging or like, ain't no passion in that shit, bro. You can't get no passion from that motherfucker, bro. Therefore, it's like, it makes me wonder, like, do we really love these people? Do we really know what love is? Because if we talking about heart chakra shit and everything, passion sitting between that before you even get to the commitment where I can tie my mind to this shit, my entire mind to this shit. How do I do that? How do I tie my mind to a woman who don't believe in me? How do I tie my mind to a woman who doubts what I do? How do I tie my mind to that? You feel what I'm saying? When I look at the past couple of relationships that I was, trying to get into over the last couple of years and shit, like, they loved that I loved them. You feel me? They loved my commitment to relationship. They loved my passion and desire as a whole, which they knew. I think women know this, whether they articulate it or not. They know that if a man got passion, he's going to have commitment. He has commitment, he's going to commit to me. But they don't acknowledge the fact that I have to make sure that this man, that I have to make sure that I can ignite the passion in him. We tell women all the time. We just don't use the word passion. We be like, yo, be my peace. Help me keep my passion alive. Help me keep my passion alive, and I have something to commit to. And then I can commit to you. They give us guilt. They give us guilt and grief and shit after the fact. It's like all of the shit that she did for you, all of the woman. And it's like, even us, after time goes on, we have that, man, I had that one that got away. The one that got away, she always ignited passion in you. The one that got away is the one that put that passion in you and made you commit to something. But it wasn't just committing to her. It was, she showed you, and igniting that passion, you automatically started, you had a commitment with her. It may not have been with her exactly, but it developed your ability to commit to something. Those are the ones we can't forget. Those are the ones we won't forget. But the motherfucker that took your motherfucking passion, but still demanded commitment, and is like, nigga, no. How do you expect me to continue to be who I'm supposed to be and grow into who I'm supposed to grow into if I have no passion? That's one of the things that we actually we're seeking in this world. Yeah, we want respect. But now let's level that shit out. We want to be respected for what we're passionate about. And we're going to commit to what we're passionate about. You feel me? So when we're in a space where we actually have committed to something, the passion that we have burning, like the deeper the commitment is, the higher the passion is. So now, when I looked at over the last year that I was, I had too much passion. Now, this is where I'm going to get into the side of it being, it can be a vice. Because commitment as a whole, we look at it as a virtuous word. But you know what I'm saying? I like to look at everything in its duality. I have to understand its other side. Just as much as I have to understand this active side, the side that everybody wants you to exhibit, but you got to understand the other side that goes with it. You can commit to something to a fault. From the relationship, I committed to relationships. So I be fucking up. I never realized that I don't commit to the women. I commit to the relationship. It don't matter who's in the relationship, who's in the point. I committed to relationships. And that was a lesson that I have fucked up with. I'm going to get deeper into that after, because I did say I was going to talk about the actual from the business side. Like, I had a commitment to making sure that what I can monetize what I'm passionate about. So writing my books, my courses, those things, like there was passion there. There was passion there. If you've gone through the Master in the Market course, if you've gone through the Hitting It Raw course, if you've gone through anything that I've done, there has to be a certain level of passion to generate the commitment in order to develop the things that I've gone through. Yeah, I cut curves. I like to talk about how I cut curves for people and I help them learn the game and shit like that. But I was willing to put in years. I committed years of time to make sure that I mastered this shit. So there's nothing that, no leaf can be left unturned when it's time for me to show somebody how to do it. Because the commitment was much bigger than me. I committed to that because the passion that I had for being a father at some point. You feel what I'm saying? There was a passion that was ignited in me from not having a father that said, okay, when I become a father, I have to make sure that I can be 100% of my child's life. That commitment was that, trading is going to be one of the ways you do it. Entrepreneurship is going to be one of the ways you do it. Now you have to figure out how to mix all of this shit together. Because I was committed to that shit. Because the passion was there. Now, as I was saying, with relationships, I've always committed to relationships. This is one of the reasons why I stayed in a relationship far longer than, and I have a vice. I have a knack for staying in relationships and situations farther than I should be. Because I be committed to the actual relationship, not the person. I be knowing the motherfuckers ain't shit. I be knowing the motherfuckers ain't supposed to go where I'm going. But outside of being cute, then it's like, all right, maybe she could. No, I'm so committed to the idea of relationship that I wasn't paying attention to the fact that I don't even fuck with this person. Me and this person don't relate. But I have a commitment to this relationship. It doesn't matter who you put into this relationship. I'm going to commit to that person. But I was never committed to that person. I was committed to a relationship. And I didn't really get that, like I said, until over this past year. I was talking to a few women, but one is like, I had committed to this woman so much that it was even to the point where I had committed to the idea of relationship so much that I assumed that I was committing to this. She was like, yeah, let's put a pin in it, come back, whatever the case may be. We came back and this person had not grown. And I was like, my idea, like, this is where the clash came in, but this is when the revelation really came to me, because the idea of a relationship was what I had on the table. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm thinking at the time, I'm like, no, even before that, I've always thought like it doesn't matter. Well, I knew that it didn't really matter who the person was, but now it really does matter who the person is now. And now I know how to commit to a person. You know what I'm saying? Because in committing to a relationship, it's like, nigga, you ain't had no fucking growth in the 7 years we've been apart. What the fuck? And it's like, why am I considering giving you a chance again? Because I was committed to the relationship that I could potentially have with this person. And it's in that unhealed father wound of dad walked out, dad left, he gave up, he had no commitment to it. You can't do that. I didn't realize that that's something that I needed to heal from. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, even with that relationship that I was in where I ended up getting cheated on, it was like the reason why I got cheated on because I committed to the relationship and I never walked away from the relationship, despite how bad my interaction with the person was. Me and this person were not compatible. We did not work together. Even when we look at compatibility, people be thinking are we compatible? What's our chemistry? All of that other goofy, stupid shit. Compatibility is the ability to work together. You know how I really, really understood this? You know, of course, breaking down the definition in the word, but I was looking at this when I promise you, this is how this epiphany came to me. I was switching laptops out and shit. And I had an old Microsoft Office suite where it was like, I think it was like Microsoft 2013 or some shit like that. And as I'm downloading this shit, trying to upload it to it gave me the message. This is not incompatible. This program is incompatible with this system. What? And then I stopped and I said, it's incompatible with the system. And then I was like, all right, I just uninstalled it and shit. And I was like, I had to sit back for a moment and say, it's incompatible. That means it does not work with this system. Compatibility ain't got shit to do with romance. It ain't got shit to do with connection. It ain't got shit to do with vibe. Does this shit work? Does this shit actually work with the fucking system that's in play? When I looked at some of the relationships that I had committed to, I was incompatible with the motherfucking person. But my passion, just my natural passion, tying to my commitment, which is what? My entrusting and my uniting this shit with I united the relationship with my mind. Not this person, not this incompatible ass person. So when people be like, relationships are hard, you got to go through, you got to fight. No, tying it back to the computer example. If the motherfucking system, if the motherfucking app, if the motherfucking program software is compatible, the bitch works. If the motherfucker is compatible, the bitch works. When I was sticking into another point of compatibility, when I was downloading and putting my music program back on my computer, right? I'm a Cakewalk user. I don't use Pro Tools. I use Cakewalk. I started using Cakewalk in college. My mom bought me a home studio for Christmas. It was Cakewalk Home Studio 7 or XL7 or some shit like that. And from there, I just started using Cakewalk. So then from home studio, I went to Cakewalk X1 producer. Then I went all the way up to X3. Then they ultimately discontinued it. Then they brought it back when BandLab bought it. It's a whole story that goes with it. So when I was getting, I was trying to re-download my old X3, you know what I'm saying, onto my new computer, and it's just like, it's outdated. It doesn't work. You're going to have to go up to Cakewalk by BandLab. They just redid it or whatever, so I'm about to get the new one. But it's like, it's no longer compatible. And then when I went to the specs of what the compatibility was, you had to have like a 16 gigabyte RAM. It's different specs. Like, for this to be compatible, it has to work a certain way. You dig what I'm saying? For this to be compatible, it has to have these particular metrics in order to at least work at the bare minimum. Now, of course, you want to go up higher when you're using like, digital softwares and shit like that, because it's like I want to get the best out of it. Because with me doing podcasts, with me doing music, having my effects and shit, mixing, mastering, EQs, compressions, all of these different things, it has to be able to perform. Compatibility leads to performance, my nigga. Compatibility leads to performance. So I had been I'm not even paying attention to the performance of the relationships that ain't working. Like, if we're looking at this performance and all we do is argue, all I do is fuss, all I'm doing is trying to make you happy, we incompatible like a motherfucker. And with the incompatibility, there's going to be a poor performance. And with the poor performance, there's going to kill the passion. When something does not work, your passion dies with it. When a child wants to seek out and embark on something and they're trying it and they're not getting it, they get frustrated because their passion is starting to dwindle. I really wanted to do this, but it's not working. Now my passion is going away. And eventually my commitment is going to die because I can't unite to this, because I don't know how to unite in a way in which the performance works. When we become passionate about our sports team, when we become passionate about our video games, when we become passionate about the shit that we're creating in this world, that passion comes because we have united it with our minds. We know everything about this shit. When motherfuckers know, like, tying it back to football, I don't have passion with football because I don't understand football. I know you hike past wide receivers. I know the basics of the shit, but you can't give me the trips right, the I formations, the shot. I know the shotgun. You feel me? But the I formation, trip rights, the different positions, cornerback, tight end, all that. Like, now my brother, he has a passion for football. He can read plays. He can read a play. Oh, they running this I formation. They running this dime. They running this nickel. He knows this shit. And I know. I just said I didn't know all of this shit, but I'm quoting all of the shit that I don't know them though. I know these details, but I don't know these principles. I can't tell you why this shit sets up this way. I can't tell you what this shit is intended to do, the performance that's supposed to happen to the shit, because I don't have the passion for the shit. You feel me? Now, when you talk about triangle offenses and shit and small forwards and points, picks and alley-oops and shit like that, I have more of an inclination to that because there's a passion there, because it intrigues me, because my mind has been united with this shit. So now when I'm in a relationship where it's happy wife, happy life, you feel me? My mind is not necessarily united to that shit. You see what I'm saying? When there's no compatibility and there's only incompatibility, the passion is going to eventually die. It's just not compatible. It's just not going to happen. And if there's no compatibility to constantly refuel. Now, when there is compatibility, that means there's proper performance or efficient performance. And when there's efficient performance, you now have the proclivity to increase what? The passion, which now makes the commitment stronger. And when the commitment is stronger, now it goes deeper and deeper and deeper into being wired into your mind and united with your mind. That's the commitment. You feel me? It's not just waking up and saying, oh, every day is about you. Like, women want you to be all about them. They want you to, you got to show me that you like. I do that when I'm committed and I only have passion for the shit. Motherfuckers confuse passion with lust. They confuse love with lust. They confuse passion with all this shit is lustful, bro. You need to ignite a passion in me. And women can't do that because they submitting. This is one of the reasons why I say you got to be with a woman who you can unleash. Because when you unleash her, she invigorates your passion. When she invigorates your passion, you're committed to her because now it's a synergy. It's a synergistic movement. I commit to you because you continually bring out my passion, which continually makes me commit to you. And vice versa. When I look at the women who, when I say they loved me, they couldn't leave me alone, I ignited a passion in their ass. Ooh, you just push me to make me think that I can do anything. I can take on the world. You can. I got your back if you're willing to go that distance, but you can take on the world. You know why? Because I give you passion, because I unleash you. I don't make you submit. When you submit to me, you lose your passion. Every submissive woman that I know, by the time she's in her 40s and 50s and shit, she's not divorced already, and at least I got my kids. Ain't no passion. Ain't no fire in them. Ain't no fucking fire in them, bro. At all. And as they lose their fire, you lose your fire, and eventually the commitment stops. You always cheat with somebody that motherfucking, when I say cheating, we cheat when we losing. Now I'm about to layer this shit on, because when we cheat, we're losing our passion. And then we cheat with somebody who invigorates our passion. And we commit to that. Commitment isn't a lifelong thing, or no blood oath or no shit like that. It's simply my mind now gets wrapped up into this shit because it ignited my passion. That's how easy commitment is. That's why it's so easy to cheat. Why do men cheat so easy? Because what we cheated with ignited our passion. Simple. And then I committed to cheating. I'm fucking with you. But I'm not fucking with you. But that's how this shit plays out. You feel me? So now, when we understand passion and we understand commitment, now it alters what we commit to. I think, I ain't gonna say I'm gonna be single forever at this point, but I'm learning now why I'm still single. I haven't found a woman who can ignite the same passion that entrepreneurship has for me. I have not found a woman who can ignite the same passion that music does for me. I have not met a woman that does that. But then I have to take my accountability on that shit. I had not been looking for a woman to ignite those passions because I was committed to relationships. Hey bro, for real though, at some point we gotta stop talking to women about masculinity and start talking to each other about it. And I mean really talk to each other. Not as enablers and co-signers, but as men trying to reach the pinnacle of our essence. And that's what the So Frail series does. So Frail 1 is the definition. So Frail 2 is the acknowledgement. And So Frail 3 is the resolution. If you rock with the So Frail conversations, I can guarantee you will rock with the So Frail series of books. So visit IamJustSing.com right now so you can add the series to your library. I promise you will never look at masculinity the same again, and you're going to stop wasting your time arguing with women about it. This is a conversation that men need to have between men, and it's time we start having this conversation now. My passion for those things and my commitment for those things showed me that, oh yeah, I could be committed to a woman, but I now have to understand the underlying tone of that and the missing piece. And that missing piece is passion. I can only commit to something that I'm passionate about. And like I said, we tie it to lust and shit, like passion and pleasure, and it's a passionate night because all of our emotions are involved in this shit. But is it really passion? I love the Earth, Wind, and Fire song, Reasons. Because after the love games have been played and the illusions are just a parade and the reasons start to fade, it won't ever no passion there. I was horny. You thought it was passion because I was pursuing to get some pussy. Like, no. I just wanted some pussy. Then I got it and it was How did you just, I was 16, I was like 15 and 16 years old. And I told this woman, I'm going to call her a woman now because we the same age. But at the time we was kids. I was a boy, she was a girl. I was 15, 16. She was about 15, 16. And so I finally got the pussy and shit. And then it was just like, we fucking on a regular, but it's like, you're not my girl. So she would always want me to walk her to class and shit and no. So one day I was walking with her enemy. Like, her and this girl were beefing. They didn't like each other, but the girl was in my class, and we walking from the computer lab to our class before the bell rang to get our books and shit. So it's like, now mind you, I'm in the class that, wow. This ties into this episode heavy. So the class that I was in was Health Team Relations. It was either Health Team Relations or Allied Health 1. I want to say it was definitely Allied 1 because I was a junior. Yep, it was Allied 1 because I was a junior. But anywho, these were the classes for people on the career path for medicine and healthcare. I wanted to be a forensic pathologist. I wanted to go to med school. I was learning the terminology. I love this shit. I had a passion about it. She's in the class that I'm passionate about. Did I fuck the girl that was her enemy? No, I didn't, y'all. That's not where I'm going with this at all. But I'm saying this person was in this passionate class. Now, as we walking from the computer lab, going back to our LI1 class, so we can get our books to go to second period and shit. She busts out of the class and cause they lined up at the door because the bell's about to ring. So I'm walking with Shorty and it's like, are we walking back? We're classmates, bro. So we walking back to class or whatever. I know they don't like each other, but I don't give a fuck because it's like, I'm not fucking her. Like, you can't tell me who to be friends with. You feel me? You can't. Now, I wouldn't be friends with like a motherfucker that I was beefing with she was my girl. It's like, nah, we fucking chill. The fuck, nigga? I was savage as fuck, my nigga. I gotta tell y'all, bro. I was an asshole, bro. I was an asshole. So she opens the door and looks, and I turn around and I'm like, and she just standing there like, the look that she was standing there with was like, I know you ain't walking with this bitch. And I look back like, if you don't go your ass back into class, the fuck is you doing? So the bell rings, I start walking to class, and she, I guess, runs behind me. And I'm getting to my second period class, and she's like, why I always gotta run behind you and chase you? I said, you don't. And she was like, I said, you don't. I don't. Like, I didn't ask you to walk me to class. I'm not walking you to class. Like, you know what we doing. Let's leave it at that. So her friend wanted to be an instigator and shit. Came in and she said she wanted to know why you was walking with such. I said I could walk with whoever the fuck I want to walk with. She said not if y'all go together. I said we don't go together. The whole audience. And when I say the audience, because everybody in the hallway was like, "Ooh!" It's like, nigga, how did y'all hear that? Like everybody in the hallway is walking, talking, everything like that. It got quiet as fuck when I said we don't go together, and it was just like, ooh! I embarrassed the fuck out of her. She was so motherfucking embarrassed. Like, I seen it in her face. So we go to second period. She texts me talking about, so what was it, just the pussy? The pussy was all you wanted? I said, the pussy was all you gave me. I told you. I would not fuck with you on a serious tip. I don't know why you didn't believe a motherfucker, bro. But I said that. I said all of that to talk about the lust and the passion. Because I was fucking her good. So much so that even after that, we started fucking again. After she had her whole, I hate you, Ray Ray. You ain't shit. I double back and fucked her some more. Like, the fuck? Like, what you mean, nigga? I do not condone none of this behavior. I was a 16-year-old boy. I'm a 34-year-old man now. I was a 16-year-old boy at the time. This is not the same motherfucker, bro. It's not the same motherfucker. But, so, nigga, my thing was this. I had passions elsewhere. Therefore, there was no commitment there. Women want you to be passionate for some pussy. No, I lust for some pussy. I'm not passionate. I'm not putting... And that's where motherfuckers be getting crazy. Like, when niggas be like, yo, if the pussy ain't gonna have me up, like, no, nigga, that's passion. You shouldn't be passionate about some pussy, bro. That's dangerous. That's dangerous as fuck. And if you are passionate about pussy, then you don't need to be fucking with promiscuous motherfuckers. You don't need to be fucking with motherfuckers that are just options. And if you gonna really be passionate about some pussy. Pussy was cool. And pussy is cool. I love it. But at the same time, I will not have passion for pussy because now I'm committed to it. Now I'm gonna start doing crazy shit. This is why motherfuckers do crazy shit. I don't do crazy shit because I never had passion for pussy. You feel me? Because after we fucked, it's done. I got it. Do I really want it again? Yeah, I do. Okay, cool. But is it worth everything that's coming with it? Nah. Now that's when it comes into, am I going to commit to this shit? I ain't on no, yo, why buy the cow if you got the milk and shit or no shit like that, motherfucker. No, nigga, if the milk is good, I'm buying that cow. I don't, the fuck is y'all talking about? Why buy the cow if you going to get the milk for free? Cause, nigga, that cow gives some good-ass fucking milk. I'm gonna make sure ain't nobody else getting milk from this fucking cow, bro. That's commitment. Once the cow once the cow's milk gives me some passion, you best believe, motherfucker, I'm committing to this cow. Nobody else is gonna get this cow's milk, my nigga. You feel me? Now, that's where the motherfuckers try to downplay it. Oh, nigga, that's simping. That ain't simping, nigga. That's smart. That's smart as fuck. The fuck? I use that metaphor and everything like that, and I'm not just talking about sex. When a woman can reignite my passion, when she can spark my passion, I'm committed to her. I'm not just talking about that. Now, when I talk about the milk and the cow, I'm not just talking about pussy. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? Nigga, if I'm getting the cow's milk for free, give me the fucking cow. Don't give anybody else this fucking... Now, because look, now this ain't got nothing to do with prostitution or pimping or putting hoes on the stroll. But what I'm saying is this. If I can get the milk for free, I'm going to take that cow and then I'm going to sell the milk. And now, again, like I said, I'm not just talking about pussy. Now I'm talking about this, using this metaphor to say, this cow gives me passion. Now I can use this passion. I'm going to commit to this cow. Now that I'm committed to this cow and the milk that it's giving me to ignite my passion, yeah, you best believe I'm going to capitalize on that shit. The fuck? This is my cow. I don't want this cow to go to nobody else. I don't give a fuck if the milk is free. Fuck is you talking about? Fuck is you talking about? Now, when this cow, if I buy the cow and now the cow is still giving milk to other, I'm like, no, nigga, no. No. But that's where y'all be going crazy, bro. Because y'all find passion in the milk. I know it seems like, nigga, how you going to use the example for both ways and then say one way works, one way? It's called balance. It's called duality, bro. It's called a metaphor. You can make a metaphor fit however the fuck you want to make it fit. Just fuck with me and keep following the episode, goddamn. So when it comes to that, and when it came to that situation, it's like, yo, she gave me the milk for free. And it's like, yeah, but I didn't want to commit to that cow. Like, I don't want that cow. Like, that cow does not bring out any passion in me. It doesn't make me want to say, I can do better for myself. I want to do better for myself. Now, I know people say, well, a woman shouldn't be like, yeah, she should. She should ignite my passion. Now, she doesn't have to nag me. She doesn't have to stay on, like, I naturally will do that when the passion is there. We've been like this since we was boys, bro, since we was little kids. The woman, the girl that ignited the passion in you that you had that quote unquote crush for, nigga, that was passion. That won't just crush. Like, that motherfucker ignited a passion into it and you were willing to commit to her. Until you seen, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she made you want to dress up. She made you want to run fast on the playground. She made you want to look strong. She made you want to do this shit, nigga. She ignited a passion in you. Now, when we get to the motherfuckers who, you feel me? She wasted her good years. No. It isn't that she wasted her good years on the other guys or whatever the case may be, blah, blah, blah. You were angry. She ignited a passion in you and didn't want you. She ignited a passion in you that you knew you would commit to. But then she went and go fuck with a motherfucker who wouldn't commit to her because she couldn't ignite that passion. This is the side of the shit that y'all don't see. This is the side of the shit that y'all don't see. We be thinking because of the way we value pussy as opposed to the actual person, we be thinking that, yo, some women are not in the league of the men that they fucking with. Some women are not in the league. Like, just how, like, dudes you can feel like a woman is out of your league. You feel me? Some women can feel like men are out of their league. And some women know that men are out of the league. And some women find out that men are out of their league. And I say this with the most modesty. I've dealt with a lot of women who are not in my league. Shouldn't even have been in the court that I was there. But I let them in because at the time it's, nigga, fuck if they in your league or not. Our thing is pussy. Our thing is pussy. Like, it's not the person, nigga. It's pussy, bro. Fuck is you talking about? Fuck is you talking about? It's all about the pussy, bro. The power of the PUSSY. So we, on the other hand, won't dismiss a woman who's not in our league. Women will dismiss a man who's not in their league, but men will never. We do not dismiss women that are not in our league because they will still ignite a passion within us. They'll ignite a passion in us that's mainly tied to our ego. They'll stroke the fuck out of our egos. You feel me? When it used to be quantity over quality, I knew some of these motherfuckers wasn't in my league, but it's a notch on the belt. It's one of my favorite underground rappers. I don't even know if he make music anymore, but I know he did. His name was Tito Lopez. He got a line that said, "That bitch you fucking, that bitch you cuffing, give me brain for nothing." And those are the types of women that are not in the leagues that they are supposed to be in. But now they get exposed to those leagues and don't know how to act. They think they're that and they're not. This is why y'all get fucked up when they come to fuck with a motherfucker whose league they not really in. And then they come back and fuck with y'all. They don't tell you the other side of the story. They weren't in the league. The way they treating you was how they got treated. You feel what I'm saying? They went and go fuck with a motherfucker that they couldn't ignite the passion in. They just kind of triple left them, found them, fucked them, and forgot them. You feel me? They couldn't get committed to. They be mad at that shit. I'm a good woman. I do this, I do that. You don't ignite passion, motherfucker. I don't give a fuck. I can cook myself. I can clean myself. I used to hear it all the time. Not all the time, but like I frequently heard it when it came to women who they would let me know that I wasn't, they weren't in my league. They would let me know. And it's not me tooting my horn or trying to shit on them. They would literally let me know when they say these words. They would say, "What can I do for you? What is it that I do for you?" Or they'll say, "What did I do to deserve a man like you?" You ain't supposed to be on this court. But because you a woman, and because society says that you guys are all the prizes and shit, like, I don't give a fuck. You could be the prize and still be an honorable mention, my nigga. I don't play for honorable mentions. I'm either gonna get the gold or the bronze. I don't, and sometimes I get the silver, but I'm not playing for no participation trophy. Fuck is you talking about? Not anymore. But back in the day, that's what I would play for. And these women would not ignite any passion in me. And it's like, why can't we go anywhere? Because there's no passion. If you don't make me want to write a song about you, if you don't make me want to charge myself up to become better, you're not igniting passion. You're not igniting passion. And if you're not igniting passion, guess what I can't do? I can't commit to you, baby. There's no commitment there. There's absolutely no commitment. The woman that I was with, she that cheated on me and shit, like, she ain't ignite no fucking passion. Again, I was committed to the relationship. I was committed because when everybody was like, you know, you was a good man, you like, that's what kept me staying there. Men, relationships are hard. You got to fight. They always give me some bullshit. Women go through stuff too. You got to be patient with her. This, that, and the third. No, fuck that. I'm gonna say that with the heart out. Fuck that. I ain't doing that shit no more. When I started to realize that this person ain't igniting passion out of me no more. You cute. You know what I'm saying? We probably think a little bit the same or whatever, but there's no passion there. If you cannot ignite my passion, I have no desire to commit to you. Sad thing about us as men is that most of the shit that we have committed to is inanimate. We can't commit to a person because our passion is tied to our feelings and our emotions, which is things that we're supposed to hide. As men, we're not supposed to express those. We're not supposed to exhibit those. So if we're not supposed to exhibit those, how the fuck are we going to commit to anything? That's powerful as fuck, bro. When you understand commitment for real, and you realize that it is to entrust, it is to unite with the mind, bro. Commitment is to unite with the mind. You start to realize why you ain't been in relationships, why you ain't been taking relationships seriously, why you can look and see this is why when you actually in a committed relationship and you're committed to the person, not just the relationship, can't nobody distract you. Now, I'm gonna say this part, because while I was committed to the relationship and not committed to the person, the temptation was always there. And it was always, because I'm committed to the relationship, I'm not gonna fuck with you. But because I'm not committed to the person, I could fuck with you. I could really fuck with you because you ignite my passion. Like when I said the woman that I could have, like, there's a couple women that I could have cheated with before I got cheated on. But these women were in my class. Again, just like the situation that I was in high school, I didn't want to go through that again. And I wasn't fucking the other chick. We were just classmates, and the other two were beefing. They were beefing, so it looked different. But I wasn't fucking her. I didn't like we was really friends. You know what I'm saying? And when I looked at that situation, I leveraged that and took it to the future. I understood it and took it to the future. So now when I'm dealing with a woman who's like, you're not igniting my passion at all. You feel me? Our majors weren't the same. You know what I'm saying? We didn't do nothing. All we did together, the only thing that we shared was smoking weed. That's it. That's it, bro. That was our only relatability. That was our only commonality. But she ain't ignite no passion. She never ignited any passion with him. And in fact, she just made me miserable. But because I was committed to the relationship, I found ways to keep the passion alive about the relationship's commitment. Because the idea of it was, I'm a good man. I'm gonna prove that I'm a good man. I'm gonna prove that niggas ain't shit. That all niggas ain't shit. I'm gonna prove that. I'm gonna prove that. I'm gonna go against the grain and break the stigma that niggas ain't shit. That's what I meant to say. But I'm gonna prove these things because I'm committed to the relationship, not the motherfucking person. It just so happens that the person is not gonna be wronged by me because of my commitment to the relationship. You feel me? But now, when we're together and shit, but I got a physics class with a woman that is 100% my type, and she igniting the passion out of me, it's like, nigga. I don't know how much I could take, but it's like, if I had never been, I would have cheated if I wasn't committed to the idea of relationships. I would have cheated like a motherfucker. I wouldn't even cheated. I would just broke up with her and got with somebody. She would have never, like, I would have broke up with her and then got with it. Like, she would have never known about her. Yeah, if we would have talked and she was like, so wait. Yeah. Once I seen you, I broke up with her and said, you're who I want, because she ignited my passion. So much so that it's like, we were physics partners. We had physics together. I think we had a couple other Jones together too. But I know physics was where we met. And on the date, I promise you, bro, look, let me tell y'all the story, bro. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. It's physics. I think it's like this is my freshman year. Gotta be second semester of my freshman year, I think. Or no, when did I take physics? I took physics my sophomore year, maybe. Physics 1 and 2. I don't even remember, nigga. Fuck the time. When Shorty walked into class, I said, damn. I said that, like, when I say everything stopped, nigga, everything stopped. This ain't no dramatic shit trying to, you know what I mean? Like, when they be talking about it in the movies and shit and how, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to experience it to know. Like, when motherfuckers was like, yeah, she came in, everything stopped and all eyes, like, were on her. And they were like, nobody's eyes were on her but mine. It ain't like she wasn't attractive or nothing like that, but it's like, when I say everything stopped and all I saw was her, nigga, everything stopped and all I saw was her. And all she did was walk through the door and come and sit down at the table and shit. And I was like, damn. And she sat down at my table. You know, I try to sit by myself and shit. I got my shit propped up, blah, 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 blah. So she come in and sit right across from me. She said, you mind if I sit at this? I'm like, nah, cool. Do your thing. Because it's like, it needed to have at least 4 people there anyway. And so first couple of days, she sat across from me. Then she started moving side by side. Then she was, you know, because we started talking more. And then she was just like, matter of fact, nigga, this how it happened, right? So the very first day, it's the very first fucking day we exchange numbers. Right? I'm gonna get to the concept and shit, like, but this is why I didn't cheat, because I was committed. But you know, so it ties into this episode. But this is a good ass story. This is a funny ass story, bro. So the very first day is physics. We going over the information and shit. And so we don't even have lab yet. This is just literally the first day. You know, introduction day, you getting the syllabus and shit. Ain't shit really popping. She say, well, do you understand this? I'm like, it's only been one day. And she was like, well, I'm gonna need a partner, so you might as well, you know. And I'm like, all right. And then, all right, so we exchange numbers and shit, blah, blah, blah. And then she ultimately become my lab partner. So then it goes from sitting across from each other to sitting beside each other to disrupting class and shit, and the teacher like looking at us like, all right. And I never forget the day she was sitting beside me. When I say this woman was fucking beautiful, bro, this woman was fucking beautiful, my nigga. Like, everything about her was fucking special, my nigga. The way she smelled, the way she walked, the way she talked, the way she carried herself. But here I am in a relationship with a miserable motherfucker that ain't bringing out no passion. And this motherfucker making me smile every day. Every fucking day. Every fucking day, my nigga. Every day. So, we sitting beside each other in class, and she eating the rice. Like, she always came with snacks. Now, the crazy thing about it is, like, she wasn't overweight, she wasn't obese. Like, she just had snacks all the time. And she worked out. She was in the Air Force. She worked out. So we was, like, the passion, it was like, yo, I gotta work out too. As opposed to dealing with somebody who, you ain't gotta work out. It's like, you don't want the mother, like, fuck all that. So, she eating a Rice Krispie treat. Right? She bite it. And then she peeled the rest of the wrapper back. And like, I said something, I was like, you always eating your hungry ass, right? And she stuck the Rice Krispie treat in my mouth. And without a second thought, I bit that motherfucker. I didn't jerk back. I didn't move. Get the fuck, none of that shit mattered. I just bit the fuck out of that Rice Krispie treat. And she said, now your ass always eating. I said, yo, I can't be but a gentleman, but for so long, yo, like, you ignited my passion. Like, when we went to lab, when we was in the lab and shit, like, she was keeping me on my toes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Every time, even if I didn't know the subject material, if I didn't get it that day or whatever the case may be, I made sure that when we went back to the lab or when she came to get tutored or when she came to get help, I knew what the fuck I was talking about, just so I didn't look like I didn't know what I was talking about around her. Passion. Had we been in a relationship, it would have been nothing to commit to her. Because everything was tied into that. My mind was now tied to her, but my mind was also committed to my relationship. So there was little things that would happen that I wouldn't do. Like, she invited me to a house one time, and I was like, nah, you got to come to the library for us to study, yo, because I knew, no, I need witnesses. Nah, I need witnesses. Nigga, I need witnesses. Because if I don't, then it would be easy for me to cheat. I can't say that I wouldn't, that it would have been easier because, like I said, she was igniting my passion. You feel me? I had another situation. College as well. This person is in my chemistry class. Again, pun intended, but, well, no pun intended on this one, but it's like, we had chemistry class together. We also worked for the Department of Residence Life together. So we was always around each other and shit. You feel me? And it was just like, it was dope. We would be tutoring and shit. I would meet me in the library and shit. Then it's like, nah, you got to come around. I went to her room a couple times. At this point, this is the latter half of the relationship. This towards the end of the relationship when I'm miserable as fuck and now everything is just like, oh, you ignited my passion. I'm starting to love you, yo. I'm starting to hate this motherfucker, but I'm starting to love your ass. Like, for real. Like, nigga, I need to stop. Whew. Man. But my commitment to the idea of relationship. I did not want to end up like my dad. I did not want to be a fuck boy. I did not want to go out with that name on me when the relationship was over. I never wanted that. I never wanted that to happen. You know what I'm saying? For any side. I didn't want the women that didn't, like, oh, he had a girl and he played me and this, that, and the third. I didn't want none of that. So my commitment to the image that I would receive for being a good man was bigger than all of the other bullshit that I was dealing with. And it gave me passion because it's like, I used the passion to be committed to that. And my passion for being committed to that came from my father walking away. Now, this is why I always tell the story, like, men, we need to start having more conversations where it's okay to walk away from a woman. Because of the way my dad left and because of the only like I didn't know that there's never a good reason for you to walk away from a relationship. You work through that shit, you get through that shit, whatever the case may be, blah blah, fuck all of that shit. No. It's not cowardice to walk away from a relationship, even if a toxic motherfucker try to convince you that it is. You dig what I'm saying? You be getting guilted in some shit like you ain't even passionate about. Nigga, the fuck? You feel me? But I was committed to the relationship. Because I've always found passion in that shit. And that same passion was what fueled me as an entrepreneur. I was committed to that shit. And I know I spent more time on the relationship side of this shit, but now I'm getting into the actual entrepreneurship side. But get the nuggets how you get the nuggets, baby. That's just how it plays out, my nigga. So when I took that last year off, I realized how committed I was because my passion was like, yo, I gotta get back into the podcast. This shit was like a fiending. It was like, I gotta get back into the podcast. But it was like, no, take a break to learn to appreciate certain shit. Because in addition to being committed to the podcast, I was committed still to everything else. My passion for everything else burned. And it was like, I was committed to too much and it was all pulling me in a different way. So I had to go into being committed to myself enough to say, you know what? Your passion is still strong. Now channel that passion into one thing at a time. To where now it's like, with that time that I took off, I was able to literally focus on the next phase for the branding, the marketing, the advertising. It's just like consolidate into the Instagram page and make it like this. I would do like little pieces and shit. Like, y'all gotta see, y'all would have had to been here. If for the new people, y'all would have had to been here through the duration of the old shit. Like, I was writing books, creating podcasts, creating courses, all at the same time. Like, it wasn't like I would just do this and then focus only on this. It's like, nah, nigga, today is Tuesday. Fuck, I do that shit Wednesday. Today is Tuesday. It's a whole different day. You feel me? So, for example, like with the podcast episodes, consistently, faithfully, I'm going to record them on Tuesdays and Fridays so they can drop on Wednesdays and Saturdays. You feel what I'm saying? That's how I record them. So that's where those days went. So I'm like, all right, nigga, that's just podcast day. So in between those days, it'll be, okay, I'm going to spend some time working on this. I'm going to spend some time working on this. I'm going to spend some time working on this. I'm going to write this book for this. I'm going to write this. And it was all over the place. The commitment was there, but the commitment was so spread because I was committed to the success of what I had to do and I stopped being committed to the individual things one at a time. Because the passion was there. It's like, nigga, I'm going to get all of this shit done. Because the commitment to being an entrepreneur was bigger than the commitment of the individual things until I realized, like, if I don't just focus on one thing at a time, I'm going to neglect some things. So while focusing on the inflation community and, mastering the market, I stopped worrying about so Frail. It's like, nigga, the book is out. The fuck? Like, niggas can go read it or whatever. How do they know about it? That's why it's like when my page got shut down, it was so beautiful because low key, it made me see, like, you have to start over as if nobody's seen it. Because literally from this page, nobody's ever seen it. So every day is putting on. Every day is putting on. So I would try to alternate again and be on some, all right, I'm going to post for about So Frail. I'm going to put So Frail brand at the end of this one. And it's like, let me consolidate and just put everything together. I've already built everything together. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I continue to try to divide myself up and be committed to dividing myself up being opposed to committed to uniting myself as this one thing, everything else is going to keep being difficult. Clearly, I got the idea and the concept. Now that's why you see the podcast is back the way that it is. But at the time, it's like I needed that break because it's like my passion is blinding me because I'm committed to this shit. This is one of the other sides of the passion. You can have a passion even if you're looking at relationships. You could be so passionate about this person, so passionate about this woman that you're in the relationship with that you're not willing to see everything that is being tied into this shit. And shit can become oblivious to it. So I changed that, and that's why it's like I stopped being passionate about relationships and start being passionate about the women. Like I really started to see who I was attracted to. Everybody can't be here, bro. And like I said, when I was dealing, like I had committed to the idea of relationship. That's why when she was like, let's put a pin in it and come back, I was like, all right, cool. We're going to tell an amazing story. Yeah, we met in this point, and then after 7 years, we finally came back together. And we came back together. We this, that, and the third. It's like, nigga, you the same motherfucker that you was then. I'm not the same motherfucker now. And I realized that I was just committed to the idea of a relationship with you. Because any woman could have been in that position. Now I'm at a space where no woman can be in this position because my passion is not coming back. I ain't gonna say my passion is coming back. My passion came back. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna really start trying to wrap it up. My passion came back as an entrepreneur, right? Because I infused my passion with that shit. Good, bad, up, down, it didn't matter, nigga. This is what gets done. So I was able to commit to that shit. Once I got back into music, I realized that it was passion that was fueling me the whole time. But then I started to realize how much passion I didn't have in a relationships based off of everything else. Because getting back into my music, the passion that I have to learn to mix, to learn to master, to get my recordings and shit right. Like, if you've been listening to them, like, you've been seeing them get progressively better and better and better and better. From the first one I dropped, which was Vision and Focus, to the most recent one that I just dropped. By the time of this recording, the most recent one is Pay Me in Full. Right? Only thing that I really got to learn how to do now is stop cutting out so much low end and shit. But the only reason why I was cutting out so much low end was because motherfucking the person I was learning from, they took out a lot of low end because that's just how they voice work. And it be making my shit sound like it be making it seem like I'm a kid, bro. Like, nah, nigga, my voice is deeper than that, but I cut the depth out. I can cut that shit out. Like, even in some of the recent podcast episodes, you can hear it because I'm still calibrating the mics and shit. Like, I'm getting used to this shit. This one probably sounds a lot better than the other ones, but this is me, using my passion to say, all right, bet. I'm committed to making sure that this gets better and better and better and better and better. So now that I see that my passion is reignited, like when talking to the women, it's like, there's a difference between having your ego stroke and having passion ignited in you. There's a huge difference, but a lot of us don't differentiate between that. So when I was looking at the women who would, oh, I encourage you, I support you, I this, that, and the third, but do you ignite my passion? Do every day I see you, every time we talk, I want to be better? Does every moment of my life that I'm with you, do I want to get better? Because when it came to entrepreneurship, when it comes to music, that's what that passion does for me. I don't sit and say, I want to stay and do this again and again and again. It's like, no, I want to outdo that last one. I want to get sharper with that last one. I want to make sure this is so on point that it can't be stopped. Like, you feel me? Building my brands and shit from a funnels perspective of having the landing pages, having this, that, and the third, and getting to a point where it's like, all I have to do now is make a post and tell you to go here because all of the information is now, I wrote it and crafted it, learning copywriting and all of these different things. I was committed to making sure that when I get on this motherfucking app and I make a post, I have to do something to generate some profit based off of what I've created. And now I can do that. But I was committed to that shit. You feel me? So now, every day the passion was there because it reignited it. When I reread, snippets of So Frail, when I'm looking at, like, everything always reignited me and kept my passion going. So now, I had to now step into a new space of reality looking at, when it comes to these relationships, I can't just be committed to a relationship. I have to be committed to the person that can bring the passion out of me. Because I looked at it and it's like, that's what it was that I was always doing to these women. I was lighting passion in them. Passion they didn't have. Passion they didn't believe in and couldn't commit to. Like when I say that I was dealing with the woman who motherfucking was sitting on that $1 billion idea and never brought it into fruition. She ain't had no, I gave her passion, but she had no commitment with it. She chose not to make the commitment out of it, to do the necessary work. She doesn't have the same passion that I have. Therefore, we won't commit to the same goal. We won't commit to anything the same way. But I would have always tried to keep going down that cycle of I'm committed to the relationship. That's what they want us to be committed to, the relationships, not them. Because when we actually decide to commit to them, we have to realize you're not giving me any passion. What's the phrase? What's one of the phrases? Happy wife, happy life. But what's one of the phrases? Behind every great man, there is an even greater woman. Sometimes that is our passion, that you're making me look great. But no, that phrase comes from you ignite the passion in me that keeps me going. You ignite the passion in me that keeps me going. Now, again, because this is so for real conversations, the ladies shouldn't even be listening to this motherfucker any motherfucking way. This is not to say that by default, just because you think you ignite a passion and you support, no, you can be supporting a motherfucker and nagging the fuck out of him and killing the passion that he has. You feel me? If how do you know if it's really passion that's being ignited in you or not? Because like I said, one, you'll be willing to commit to it, which means that everything in your mind is now tied to it, because now your mind is now completely tied to it and trusting into it, because you now have tied your emotions and your thoughts to it, right? You'll know when something has invigorated your passion, and it's not because you can't stop thinking about it. You're always on it. It's always on your mind. When it comes around, you get shy. No, that's not exactly what it is. Because you're not going to, it burns a fire in you that everything that you're passionate about, it feels like that. I used to always say, the next woman that I get with, she has to make me feel the way my music makes me feel. I used to say that shit without knowing exactly what I was saying, because my music gives me, I have a passion for music. And it works in a synergy. Every time I write something new, it's a new challenge to go beyond that. Every time I make a new beat, it's like, yo, that drum could have hit harder. You could have put a different 808 in there. That snare, that rim shot could have been right. Everything is about committing to making that sound better. You feel what I'm saying? If that person is not bringing that out of you, ain't no passion there. Now, if you in a relationship right now and y'all been together 10, 15 years and you saying this, I gotta let her go. Hey, nigga, you ain't get that shit from Scene. I did not tell y'all motherfuckers to leave your ladies or whatever the case may be. But I'm saying, understand what your passion is first. Understand how passionate what passion really is for you. A lot of us don't understand passion because it's too emotional. It's like, yo, this shit's making me feel. I don't like how it's making me feel. Nigga, it's supposed to make you feel. That's the only way you can commit to some shit. You feel what I'm saying? Women want the commitment but don't want our passion. Be with somebody who wants you to be committed to them, but then they undermine the shit that you're passionate about. They don't like your passion. They like that you like them. They like how your passion incorporates them. This is why, like, when I got cheated on and shit and that relationship was over, I hated, I didn't want to do music no more. She fucked up my passion for music. You feel what I'm saying? Because I had let her into that world. I had let her make music with me and shit like that. And it's like, I was committed to music. Like, every time I was like, yo, I gotta go. Can I come? Can I listen? Can I this and that? Come on, come into my world. I didn't realize that there was low-key jealousy and envy in that shit too. Because she had no passions. She wasn't passionate about shit. She just wasn't. You don't be realizing motherfuckers ain't passionate about shit until if you don't step back and really evaluate passion, you won't realize what other motherfuckers are passionate about. And when you don't realize what they are passionate about, you won't see what they're committed to. The display of a person's passion will show what they are willing to commit to. You feel me? Some motherfuckers' passion just isn't positive. Some people have a negative passion. And they'll be committed to fucking shit up. And they'll fuck your shit up. Hell, you can have a passion, and they call it self-sabotage. But self-sabotage is the outcome of what happens when you're committed with a passion that is negative. You're passionate as fuck, just with the wrong feelings and the wrong emotions. Your mind is tied to committed to this, and you can be committed to fucking shit up. And now you're fueling a negative passion out of yourself. That's crazy. That's crazy. So you got to be mindful of the shit that you involving yourself with when it comes to your passion and what you're going to actually be committed to. You feel me? It's deeper. It's so much deeper than just waking up and saying, hey, I'm going to go do this continually. Like, nah, time stops existing. I was talking about this episode too. I was talking about this in the previous episode when I was like, yo, I'll talk about it soon, but time no longer exists for me because my passion is back. That's one of the quintessential pieces when you realize when your passion is tapped in, ain't no time. Yeah, you can look on the clock and see this many hours have passed, this many days have passed, but it will not feel like it passed because the commitment is there. So now when we looking at it from the relationship perspective, you know that you are passionately committed to this person when it feels like when y'all literally have been together for a long time and it does not feel like a long ass time. When you are entwined with creating or crafting something that you are passionate about, time does not exist, bro. 8 years is a long fucking time. One of the beautiful things about, children, especially like my youngest niece, she's 8. She'll be 9 this year. When she was born in 2016, like a couple weeks after she was born, that's when I actually released So Frail. My timestamp for entrepreneurship is her. For me, 8 years has not felt like a long time. But then I look at her and I'm like, you've been growing. You are growing. This is different. She's my timestamp. She's the marker of how much time I've been putting in. Because she's the only one that aligns with the time. My other nieces and nephews is like, y'all motherfuckers is what? My oldest nephew is a grown-ass man. He's a grown-ass motherfucking man. It's wild. He's a grown-ass motherfucking man, bro. But I'm saying that because time didn't exist in those spaces for me. And it didn't exist in those spaces for me because my passion was burning bright, which made me commit 100% to everything that I was doing. And in my commitment, I never lost sight of what I was supposed to be doing. So when it comes to us as men, when we get into that space, we'll know when we can truly commit to something, when it ignites a passion in us that separates us from time. Separates us from the idea of time. But until we actually step into understanding our passion and embrace what we're passionate about and infuse that into our minds with the thing that we're doing, we won't be able to commit to anything. And if the thing that we're committing to doesn't create a synergy that invigorates our passion, we're not committed to it. We're just stuck in a state of lust for it. And that could be anything. That could be a woman. That could be a video game. That could be whatever. But when you truly find your passion, commitment is going to follow right after that. And don't forget to check out Paula Cafe Clothing, formerly Just Scene's merch. Get all of your intricate designs crafted specifically for the melanated being to develop a positive imagery within self and to have a little bit of fun in the process. From the peace, love, knowledge, and freedom to the dead horses and water designs, all of the styles are crafted for the imagery to make you feel as you're supposed to feel. Because as I always say, the best way to fit in is to stand out. And what better way to stand out than with your exclusive styles from Paula Cafe Clothing. All right. I'm going to go ahead and end it there. That's commitment with a little bit of passion. And it was mainly passion, but it was about how passion leads into commitment. And like I said, it piggybacks off of the So Frail conversations on What I say? The fuck I say, y'all? Passion. This life, this time that I'm walking into right now, y'all, like I said it on a couple previous episodes that I was like, yo, I'm different. I couldn't really identify my passion is back. That's what it is. My passion is back. My passion had been gone for so long that I didn't realize that it had been invigorated. My passion died with that relationship that ended when I was 21 years old. But then it came back when I started writing books and shit in 2016, and I just registered now that it's like, that's what I got back again. My passion. My passion is back. And now everything that I'm aligning with for my passion this is what's supposed to be here. When I look at the people and the friends that I have, that developed, the friends that I gained as my passion developed, I realized that they're real friends. The people that I've lost, I realized y'all ain't really motherfucking fucking with me because my passion is not like this friend, family, foe, and hoe. My passion is gone. My passion was gone. It's crazy because it's like so many friendships that I built were when my passion was gone. It's like we were friends and I had no passion. Now that I have passion, we can't be friends. Our relationship just was built off of that. It was built off of two passionless motherfuckers. And now that when I noticed that, like, as my passion started to emerge and come back, I started feeling good. I started feeling right. It's like, yo, I started committing to things again. You feel me? For me, it's no longer just it's a job to do it. This is a task. Nah, once I realized the power of passion, it makes it easy to commit to shit. If my passion ain't there, I already know I'm not going to commit to it. You feel me? A woman who can't bring my passion out, I can't commit to her. I don't give a fuck how cute she is. I don't give a fuck. Like, this is what I always say. We can't co-create. We can't procreate. Because in co-creation, we both have to have our passion running. The shit that you create is an extension of your passion. When you scared to create for some shit or you scared to actually be the creator that you are, you ain't passionate about your life. I need a creative woman in my life because I know she's willing. I need a creative woman with passion in my life because I know she's willing to create some shit. This is why I'm always like, yo, I'm willing to unleash a woman. I'm willing to ignite her passion. She got to ignite my passion. But it can't be one-sided. I've been in so many situations because my passion is already self-ignited. Women don't think they got to keep my shit burning. So it's like they'll be on some, you ignite my passion. I want to do this. I'm okay. Well, how do you like that extinguishes my passion when you just siphon off of it? Sometimes we get into situations like that where a motherfucker just siphon off your shit. Because again, like I said, sometimes men are out of a woman's league. And that is okay. If she ain't got the passion, like I had a homie, we ain't talking a long time, but I had a homie who was just like, when she get with a man, he needs to be slightly ahead of her so she can have some kind of fuel or whatever the case may be. And I get that, but it's like, can you provide that same fuel? Can you provide that same passion? Women don't think they think they pussy is the passion. No, I can get that anywhere. Literally, my nigga. If you think pussy is what provides me my passion, then you got to respect that I'm going to get some pussy when when the passion you think you providing ain't hitting on shit no more. What the fuck you think I'm going to do? I'm going to find me some new passion. I ain't gonna do that. I'm just speaking because I don't do that shit no more. Because now it's like I can't fuck with anybody who doesn't bring me passion. I get it. You can give me energy. You can give me good vibes and shit. But if you can't keep my passion lit, I can't fuck with you. And that was literally something that I just learned in the last year and a half, bro. Like trying to rekindle flames and talk to women that's like, yo, you ain't bringing me. Why? I'm like, yo, why can't I connect with you, bro? I commit to the idea of relationship. I just can't commit to the woman because I never really understood that. It's like I have to commit to passion. Because the commitment is going to follow the passion. And if there's no passion there, I can't have no commitment. Now I'm forcing the commitment because I'm committed to this fucking idea The relationship is what I commit to, not the person that I'm supposed to be in a relationship with. Because now we're not even in our incompatibility. I'm still trying to commit to the relationship, knowing that the performance is fucking up and it's not doing anything for my passion at all. So what happens when my shit comes along and I meet somebody who aligns with my passion? Nigga, I'm gonna commit to that. And I'm gonna stop committing to you because now it's like you're wasting my time. There's no passion here. I am not passionate at all. And when a man is not passionate, he has no commitment. I don't give a fuck what you think about none of the shit, who you think. When a man is not passionate about shit, he has no commitment to it. My brothers, you need to find, like, if you struggling with commitment, if you getting guilted into having commitment issues, start flipping that shit back and putting it in perspective. Be honest. This is one thing we can't do with women. Sucks. They be wanting to tell me the truth, but make sure you say it right. No, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Reason why I can't commit to you is because you don't spark passion within me. They're gonna flip it. Well, you don't spark passion in me. You don't. Well, why are we together? Some people say I'm an asshole because I keep it blunt and I keep it honest. But when you start trying to, one thing that I used to hate and I still do, when I say something to a woman, and she tries to flip it with a question that, well, what about me? All right, well, let's dead it then. Because when I say some shit like, well, why haven't we taken it to the next level? Because you ain't brought passion out of me. Well, why are we together? Why are we even trying? Why are we fucking around? You just gonna end it? Hey, no. If we both literally in the same boat, why the fuck are we still? If we in the same boat and it's sinking, why the fuck are we gonna stay in this boat together? Fuck that. Let's get the fuck out. Then don't try to flip it then and say, no, I was no. There is no. If you feeling like I'm feeling and this shit ain't working, let's stop. Let's stop playing. But a lot of times they'll try to flip it back as a guilt trip. You can't guilt trip me because I'm going to use that. Because if you've already putting that on the table, that means you thought about it. And you just never brought it to me. Now I'm bringing it to you and now it's on the table for both of us. We got to let this shit go. Because if there's no passion, there's no commitment. Neither one of us are going to commit to this shit. So if you're telling me that I haven't ignited passion out of you, and I'm telling you that you haven't ignited passion out of me, neither one of us are really committed to each other. We're committed to this relationship, or this idea of this relationship trying to flex and stun on hoes. I don't give a fuck about flexing and stunning on motherfuckers. Fuck these people, bro. Fuck these people. You feel me? If my passion dies by fucking with these people, if my passion dies for the sake of what these people want to see, I don't need to be fucking with you. You feel what I'm saying? But when I no longer have any passion, there's no commitment there. And this is a man thing, Gina. If it ain't no fucking passion, it's a human thing, really. But I'm speaking because it's so Frail Conversations. Because it's one of the things that we don't speak on. We don't speak on this shit like that. Ain't no passion. Women pride themselves on being good women because they can cook. Like, cooking don't bring passion. Fucking don't bring passion. Passion is something that you ignite that keeps me going in life. You feel me? I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we together because she motherfucking lights my passion. Everybody wants to be that on the side, but they don't know how to ignite passion because you know why? A lot of motherfuckers ain't got passion within themselves. Before you can even decide if your passion is intact and you want to keep it intact, make sure when you monitoring motherfuckers that they have something that they're passionate about. Make sure they have something that they're passionate about and they're actively showing you that they're committed to. The idea of good talk is cool, but when a motherfucker ain't got the passion to follow the commitment, it ain't gonna work. I've been in situations and circumstances where the idea was cool. Yeah, I want to do entrepreneurship. Yeah, I want to own my own shit. Yeah, I want to do this shit. Where's your passion in it? Because I see your desire, but I don't see your passion. And in seeing your desire, I don't see your commitment. And constantly reminding me of your desire, it don't mean shit. I don't give a fuck about you reminding me about your desire. Show me your passion, because that's going to show me what you committed to. And if you committed to it, show me the performance after the commitment. A lot of women ain't got to do that shit. Because they're going to always go for it. Because the sad part about it is that a woman doesn't have to rise to the occasion because she can always fall back to another motherfucker and be more of a passion. Be more passion. Be the passion for a motherfucker who doesn't achieve on the same level as the motherfucker she has to be passionate for. You feel me? I ain't shitting on them. I'm keeping it honest because a lot of times we don't put shit into perspective like this. We just don't put shit into perspective like this. If a motherfucker cannot ignite your passion, I ain't even gonna say ignite it. If a motherfucker can't keep your passion burning and you already doing it, fuck are they there for? Fuck are they there for, bro? Because they're gonna demand a commitment and not be able to sustain the passion that makes the commitment viable? That's stupid. And pussy ain't enough. Head ain't enough. Ain't nothing passionate about that shit. It's lust. The fuck? You gonna top me off and you think that's gonna make me want to go and do some shit, some more fantastic shit? No. No. That doesn't ignite passion. Motherfucker ain't never got no good ass head and wanted to go fucking write a book. A motherfucker ain't never got no pussy and wanted to go produce a fucking feature film. You gotta have passion to do shit like that. You feel me? You gotta have passion for some shit like that. You really believe that you just give me some motherfucking head and I'm gonna go take over Stone Mountain? The fuck? What? No. You got to be able to fuel the passion that it takes for me to go and take over Stone Mountain and make sure that I'm committed to the shit through my passion. And make sure that you're not taking my passion from me to take me out of my commitments. It's little subtle shit like that. Make some time for me. No. I'm not saying don't make time for women in any way, shape, or form. But if my passion and my commitments need to be deviated from to fuck with you, you're not supposed to be here. Go ahead and cue Deborah Cox and get the fuck on. You feel me? But that's what it's like. This is what I'm big on. If we can't co-create, we can't procreate. And like mind, like soul, like body. You already in the same space that I'm in when my passion is showing and I'm committed to something. You've already aligned with that. That's how I was able to see you. Now you continue but some motherfuckers just be there waiting because they know that a committed motherfucker is going to show up. But they ain't got no passion themselves. They just want to be at the party. The fuck kind of shit is that, bro? That shit's stupid. But that fucks with our passion because then when we lose it and shit, you're not the same. It just don't feel the same anymore. It ain't no passion because your ass ain't lighting the passion. Your ass ain't keeping the passion lit. Therefore, I have no commitment to this shit. I have no commitment in this race whatsoever. And it ain't my fault. I came in this bitch with passion. Now my passion gone? But you got everything that you came in here for to siphon off of? Man, fuck all that shit, bro. Fuck all that shit. Passion is power. And my brothers, if you really want to step into that level of, really tap into your passion and watch what you commit to. Or don't. Embrace your feelings. Embrace your emotions. This is a beautiful side of the shit. Ooh, I like a man who's emotionally intelligent. Till that emotionally intelligent motherfucker got passion. Till he got passion and ain't shit deviate him from what he's just committed to through his passion. Be emotional, but be passionate too. But know that your passion and what you passionate about is also going to fuel your commitment. But I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And our sons, do not kill their passions. Our boys are passionate as fuck when they come out the womb. Our boys are passionate as fuck as they develop it. And we take that passion away from them. And we wonder why they can't commit to shit. We want our sons to be better than us. But in order for our sons to be better than us, they have to have a passion that we don't have. We have to show them what passion is. We have to show them the the depths of what passion really is, because we got to embrace it ourselves. And when we impart that within our sons and shit, hey, homie, this is what passion is. Passion is how you make a commitment to something. I can't tell my son, yo, you need to be committed. You need to be more serious with this shit. Nah, I put him in some shit that he ain't passionate about. And I'm demanding commitment out of him. All of that other shit, dedication, persistence, resilience, all of that shit, it falls if there's no commitment, and there's no commitment if it ain't no passion. We got to stop making our boys be passionate, try to be committed to some shit they're not passionate about. We have to stop putting the shit that we're passionate about that we couldn't commit to on them. That creates a generational cycle of misery. This is one of the reasons why I always say I completed everything I wanted to do. I put all my passion into this world and I did that shit. When my kids come into this world, they ain't got to fulfill none of daddy commitments. They ain't got to fulfill none of daddy passions that he couldn't do. Fuck that. My passion is not dormant and it has not died. So when my kids come in and I get to see their passion, but in order for me to see their passion, I have to be able to recognize passion within myself. So when I see it, I'm not undermining what they feeling. Oh, you hyper. Oh, you this. Oh, you that. Nah, nigga, you passionate. You passionate. And I got to respect that passion comes with both good and bad feelings, good and bad emotions. You ain't rebellion because you a fucking teenager. You rebellion because your passion says that this doesn't work for you. And I'm trying to make you do it. But I'm not listening because you got to do what the fuck I say. No, nigga, you can't commit to shit unless you have passion. And if I'm killing your motherfucking passion, I can't expect you to be committed to anything. If we want to raise our boys and our sons to actually have some solid things that we can commit to, that they are able to commit to, that we got to understand and respect their passion and what they're passionate about. And see their passions for what the fuck it really is. And then we watch what they commit to when they're passionate. And then guide them into it. The books say, train a child in a way that they should go. Not in the way that you need them to go. Not in the way that you failed at. Train them in the way that they should go. And they're telling you where they should go when their passion emerges. Because once their passion emerges, they committed to that shit. And when they committed to it, we got to guide them into deeper commitment and keep the synergy going to make sure their passion never goes out. But I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And I'm going to see y'all all on the next one. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. I'm out.